Okay, so I have to tell you about this terrible first date. Met this guy a month ago. He was our waiter at a Mexican restaurant. He, at the end, gave me a note that said, "You're so beautiful. Will you give me your number?" I gave him my number. I'm nothing if not a hopeless romantic. Let's go.
I mean, I always encourage all the girls that watch my content to meet their other half or their future husband or even future boyfriend organically in the real world, right? But when something like this happens, when it's a waiter that was serving you, I'm sure there was some chemistry. You were looking at him, he was looking at you, and it was playful, exciting. But then again, I'm the type of person that cannot help but think, how many times did he do this? How many other clients did he dare ask for their phone number? Because I'm not going to be the first one. I'm not that special. I'm not going to think of myself in that way. I'm not arrogant enough to think I am the only exception. I think he's used to doing that. And that is a red flag for me. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't meet someone organically. You shouldn't give your phone number. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when it's in a professional setting for him, because don't forget, this was work for him. This is his job. And he dared ask you after he was serving you and giving you food as part of his job, he then turned around and asked for a romantic date. I'm not gonna lie, I do worry. If this man is picking up girls' phone numbers during his shift, I can only imagine how many phone numbers he's getting throughout the weekend when he's free or at a random bar, when he's there for a drink or when he's with the lads or whatever. I can only imagine because he dares to do it during his shift too. But maybe I'm just a sick person. But let me make it clear. I'm not saying you cannot at all meet someone organically. You can when it's perhaps a friend of a friend, perhaps someone you go to uni with that always keeps looking at you and you can tell that they're attracted to you. It can happen organically. I'm not saying that it cannot. But when it's someone that was doing a job and then they dare to do something like this in the middle of work, because it's work for them, I do have a few questions that I cannot disregard.
So we start texting. His English isn't very good. My Spanish isn't very good. Our Spanglish, we can communicate. He immediately is asking me out. He's putting it in my court. He's like, "What do you want to do? When can I take you out?" So I picked a movie. I figured that was like low risk for a first date for somebody I have never hung out with. And I don't know that we can communicate that well. So I figured that was low risk.
Well, I don't blame her for doing that. I know that I mentioned in the past in a different video that I made before that you can't go to the cinema for a first date because the entire point of a first date is getting to know one another. And that's why you're there. You're going to determine whether you're interested in this person enough to see them again or whether they're not for you and you're going to let them go or you're not going to see them again. So first dates are very important. But at the same time, in this specific scenario, going to the cinema may work for a first date. This girl is smart. She was nice and she thought, why not? She's very romantic and she's trying to make it as smooth and easy for both of them, considering that they have a communication struggle. They are not very capable of talking to one another. He speaks a different language and obviously she's speaking English. She's still trying to think of something where they don't have to talk much but still spend time together. I don't blame her. That's my point. For in this specific scenario, in this context, it's okay to choose to go watch a movie on a first date, I guess. You'll see how it goes. And if you're feeling it, you can go for a snack or for a meal after you're done with the movie. There's always that option in case it was a great date. If not, if you see that in person you two are not really capable of talking or saying much to one another, then you can still just make a swift exit and make up an excuse after watching the movie or say, "Oh, it was nice seeing you," and just disappearing into the sunset. That's also possible.
So the night before, we've like picked a movie and I'm like, "Okay, how about we meet at 7:15 in the lobby?" Movie starts at 7:20. He said, "Okay, great." And then he said, "Are you going to bring a friend with you?" And I said, "I wasn't planning on it. Should I?" And he said, "Oh no, then it won't just be you and me." And again, I'm like, okay, maybe we don't speak very well to each other. So maybe this is either a communication issue or a cultural difference. I don't know that you bring a chaperone on a first date. I don't know, but odd. I said, so he was like, okay, no, then it'll just be you and me. And I'm like, okay, great. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, no, no, no. This is the first red flag. And we learned the hard way to recognize one when we see it. Why would this guy, I don't care about what language he's speaking, he still tried to articulate that he's interested in your friend coming to this first date? Was he just too nervous to ask her directly? Perhaps he liked her, he was interested in her, but he couldn't approach her. Perhaps you seemed more friendly, more open, so that's why he approached you instead. He asked for your phone number. I mean, when I say approach, I mean in a romantic way. I mean asking for the phone number, but he was already talking to them because he was serving them, right? He was their waiter. Perhaps he liked her friend. And the reason he spoke to this girl that we're watching now instead is because she seemed more smiley, more friendly, more open. He didn't want to get rejected, but that is a weird thing to do. I'd be asking so many questions. I'll be having a million questions racing in my head if a guy asked me about the girl he first saw me with. When he asked for my phone number, I mean, in real life, organically, he asked for it and he said, oh, I found you really attractive. I want to get to know you. And then he later on comes back and asks for my friend that was with me on that day. I'd be very worried. I'd be thinking, did this guy not really like me? Is he trying to get to my friend through me and use me as a bridge? I mean, that is a big red flag. I'm not going to just ignore it or brush it off.
So I text him the next day on the day of our date. Like I got there early and, so I was just like, oh, I'm in the lobby, a pink sweater. And he said, okay, I'm running late. I'm like, okay, fine. Not great for a first date, but okay. He's running late. The movie kind of like starts and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm running late. And I'm like, it's okay. We probably haven't missed much yet. So it's okay. And he said, okay. And then he said like 12 minutes after the movie is supposed to have started, he said, okay, I'm outside. I'm here. And I'm like, okay, great. See you soon. And he said, are you outside or inside? I'm inside. He said, what do you say that we meet outside? I said, why? It's cold. He said, so that I know where to find you. And I said, I'm the only one in the lobby right now. And then he didn't text back for a while and I'm just waiting. And I'm like looking out the glass doors. I'm like, where is this man? What is going on? I'm the only one in the lobby. These high schoolers are probably embarrassed for me that I got stood up to a movie. I don't know. I'm waiting. And he's like, the truth is I can't find you. And I'm like, are you at the movie theater? Are you at the movie theater by the Outback restaurant? And then he says, can you send me your location? No, at this point, I don't think you should have my phone number.
I think one of two possible scenarios is happening here, is taking place. Either he's lying and he's still not there. He must be running or driving fast, trying to come to you, trying to make it still. And he's trying to play it off by saying, oh, I'm already here. I just can't find you. Either that is happening, that is the first possible scenario, or he's just taking the piss out of you and he's not being honest. In which case, I can confirm if this is truly happening, then he must be into your friend. He said, are you going to bring your friend? You said no, and you thought nothing of it. You still showed up. You're taking this entire thing seriously, but he's clearly not. He knows it's just you. It's not going to be anyone else. He's maybe not that interested, but I don't know. Perhaps, like you said, you're not sure if it's a language barrier or what it is. You don't even know how to assess the situation. You can't even work out how interested he is or not in you because his English is not that great and you barely speak his native language. So it's complicated.
I'm in the movie theater lobby. There's one movie theater in this town. There's a couple other small ones, but it's clear that we're not going there. But I'm still over here like, did he go to the right movie theater? Whatever. Doesn't matter. He doesn't deserve to have my location yet. So I am still standing in the lobby, just waiting, seeing if he's going to come in, seeing if we're just having a communication issue. I'm still willing, but now I'm like nervous. I'm nervous. Why do you want me to meet you outside? I don't like that. So finally, I've waited too long and I said, hey, we're missing the movie. So I'm just going to go home. And he said, no, don't go. Like, we can still go. Or do you want to go like get dinner or something? Or do you want to watch a movie at my house? Absolutely not. Another secondary location? No.
Oh, wow. What I'm thinking now at this point is that this man must be nervous. That's a third possible scenario. Funnily enough, who would have thought we have a third possible scenario here? I think he's too nervous because he doesn't speak the same language as you. Some people worry about that, worry about whether they're going to make a mistake when speaking a different language that's not their mother tongue, and they want to present themselves in the best possible way, and they overthink it. They may start sweating, getting nervous, and it just makes it worse, and they can't even make one sentence that makes sense when they are in other scenarios and other situations capable of talking and using that foreign language. But when it comes to a romantic date or something of this sort, they just fully their brain goes blank. So now I'm starting to think maybe that's what happened here. Maybe he came all the way, but he can't come to you because he's too nervous. Again, because of the same issue, this language barrier, but that's just a guess.
So then he's like calling me while I'm driving home. I'm already talking shit with my friend, telling them that, hey, I'm safe from the red flag that I almost went on a first date with. Red flag because he was late. I don't make the rules. And so I'm declining these calls. You're not worth my time if you're going to be late to a first date and then not show up and then be weird. So then he's like, please give me one more chance. And I'm like, no, thank you. He's like, why? You left. You're angry. And I'm like, yeah, I don't even know if you were at the right theater. And he sent me a picture from his car looking at the theater. And so I said, why didn't you come inside? And he said, the truth is I was driving there. I was late and that's why. And I'm like, what? I said, you said that you got here at 7:32, which is 12 minutes after the movie's supposed to start, and 17 minutes after we were supposed to meet. So you're already very late. And then you didn't come inside. I waited for you. You said you were outside at 7:32. I didn't leave until 7:48. That's too much time on my part, honestly. Like, I shouldn't have waited for that long. So instead, I got myself a bucket of popcorn and I asked a 16-year-old behind the counter to walk me to my car because I thought I was going to get kidnapped.
Look, I don't blame her. It's very suspicious. It's weird. She's freaking out, obviously. She must have been terrified when the guy didn't show up. He's late. He said, no, you need to come outside. She doesn't know if he's hiding there with a weapon waiting for her because you don't know what this guy is doing. You don't understand. He doesn't show up. He says, I'm outside. You ask him to come in. You're the only person waiting in that lobby and he's not coming in. You know, he's waiting out. It's just a weird situation. He could be waiting for you to come out. He could be like trying to entrap you or something. I understand her point. Another scenario, because we're going to keep thinking about this all day now. We have to get to the bottom of this. What happened here? Another possible scenario is that because I can't just brush off the fact that he expected her to bring her friend along on a first date, the friend that he saw with her when he first asked for her phone number. So what I'm starting to think now is that he was truly interested in her friend, not in her. But as we see, he's a very nervous guy. So he got too nervous to ask the person he's actually interested in. And he asked this girl instead. So maybe he was interested romantically in her friend, but he asked this girl because think about it. If the rejection came from this person, which you are not really interested in, it will be okay. You wouldn't care that much. But if it came from the person you're actually interested in, it can hurt. It will probably hurt your ego, right? So maybe he liked her friend, but he saw that she's more open, friendly, smiley, and he asked her for her phone number instead. And he thought he can still use her to get to her friend. That's why he's asking, are you going to bring your friend with you? That's what I think is a possible scenario. But she still didn't understand all that. She brushed off the fact he asked about her friend and whether she's coming or not. And she still got ready and took this entire thing seriously when the guy obviously is not interested in dating this girl. That's what I'm coming up with at this point to explain this weird situation.
Seriously, I asked a juvenile behind the movie theater counter if they would walk me to my car because my date was being weird and I didn't feel safe and they looked very weirded out. It was these two young boys. And I was like, now it sounds like I'm going to kidnap you. I understand that, but I'm not going to. I bought a bucket of popcorn. I'm going home. Please walk in my car. Thankfully, he walked me to my car. I did not get kidnapped. But like, what? He tried to get me to go out with him again. texts me the next morning, "Good morning, beautiful." What?
He could be still trying to use you to get to your friend, you know? So I'm not surprised. Anyway, this was today's video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy this type of content. And of course, I'm going to remind you that if you are a single woman that is dating actively and strategically for marriage, I have built a community especially for you and for women walking the same path as you. It can help provide a lot of guidance and support in your dating for marriage journey. So go ahead and check it out. You will find the link for it in the description box under this video, and I will see you there.